It's time to stop being complicit.
It's time to listen to what's going on out there.
It's time to listen
to the voices that need to be amplified louder and before my own, so that as an ally, I understand how best I can help.
It's time to speak up.
It's time to learn.
It's time to scream for people who cannot scream anymore.
It's time to realize that you shouldn't be scared or threatened by my skin tone.
It's time to get out of your headspace and your comfort zone.
It's time to create a new story.
It's time to start early, working with our children.
It's time. Actually, it's beyond time for compassion.
It is time to learn how to relate to people that are different than you.
And be kind to one another. It doesn't matter the difference. We all are human beings. Es tiempo de amar.
It's time for justice.
It's time to take action.
It's time to sign petitions.
It's time to be held accountable.
It's time to stand up. It's time to speak out. It's time to do the work.
However you must fight now.
It's time to take action, to show your support for Black human lives.
It is time to fix this systemic system.
It's time to end police brutality.
It is time that this country takes accountability and action for all the racism and injustices that our brothers and sisters of color have felt for far too long.
We can't continue to ignore the beliefs, the behaviors, the systems and policies that continue to allow Black people to be murdered in this country.
It's time to let go of the fear and anger you have for people who don't look like you.
It's time to grow.
It's time to speak up with the Black community. No one is born hating someone. No one is born discriminating against someone. No one is born racist. It is taught and it is a product of your environment.
It's time to rise up, unite, and love.
It's time to stand up for what's right. It's time for justice. And above all else, it is past time to say Black Lives Matter.
It's time to say Black trans lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
So say it with me. Black lives matter.
I am with you all the way, because Black lives freaking matter.
It's time to stand up, speak up, and educate those that don't know the facts. We need to stop these people abusing their power. Because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
It's time to use your vote. It's time to vote that asshole out of office.
It is time to mobilize now and for everyone to register to vote for the elections in November so that we can elect leadership that is willing to stop the violence and the systematic racism towards Black people and people of color in this country.
And it's time to vote at the city level, the state level, and the federal level.
It's time to lead the next generation and to stop repeating the same mistakes over and over again.
It's time to stand up. It's time to hold authority accountable.
It's time for white people to realize that in order for our world to change permanently, our actions have to change permanently, not just today.
It's time for white people to be uncomfortable. We need to learn about and understand what white privilege is and make real changes. If it's not uncomfortable, nothing's gonna change.
Have those hard conversations. Black Lives Matter, trans Black Lives Matter. We love you.
It's time for us to use our voices to amplify the ones who have been oppressed for far too long.
It's time to join our brothers and sisters in the fight for equality.
It's time for us to listen to Black and brown people, but most importantly, it's time for some change.
It is time for a change.
And it's time for lasting change.
It's time to be persistent and bold and expect change.
Everybody, please do your part to help make the world a better place, to make it a place where everybody is treated equally and fairly under the law.
Let us unite and be the change that we want to see for tomorrow.
I encourage you to stand with me and let's make change.
It's time to show up. And it's time to say, enough is enough.